YouTube? Little Bucket here, coming at you from Northern Michigan this time, and today we are wrapping up my 3-part response to Modwain Allaron. Here's part 3, addressing a few more things he said in his video. If you missed part 1 and 2, they're both going to be down in the description. I'll also put cards up that link you to them as well. But here's a preview of the last part, part 2, in case you missed out and want to catch up on part 2, but I suggest you also go to part 2 if you missed part 1, because there's a recap of part 1 at the beginning of part 2. So here's the recap for part 2. Here is part 2 of my response to Modwain Allaron, and we are talking about how feminism can help men too. We aren't out to get men, we don't hate men, and we are down to fight for men's rights too. There are gender inequalities in the United States that do negatively impact men, and it's not right and it's not fair. Feminists want to get rid of those too. Some of the main gender inequalities that negatively affect men that first come to my mind are custody hearings, having to suppress their emotions, and paternity leave in the United States. Men can definitely get raped, and women can definitely be the rapists. So feminists acknowledge these issues, and we want to help fix them as well. In fact, a lot of gender inequalities that have negatively affected men have been changed due to the actions of feminists. Alright Modwain, here we go, wrapping things up. As you can see in the last video, I talked about how feminism benefits men, but multiple times throughout your video you keep saying how feminism doesn't care about equality, egalitarian is better, even though I already said multiple times feminism is just a subsection of egalitarianism, and you keep saying that egalitarianism is better because it's focusing on all humans, but again, you missed the whole point of my original video talking about feminism and egalitarianism, because I wasn't saying feminism is better than egalitarianism, which you keep saying I said, but I was just saying it was a part of it, not that it was better. And then you go on to say that I say that feminism needs to lead the way for all inequalities or whatever. Never said feminism needs to lead the way of injustices, or that it's better than egalitarianism. You just keep putting words in my mouth. As I've said multiple times, feminism is just a part of egalitarianism. All these different subgroups of egalitarianism work together to put a stop to inequality and fight for justice. You keep saying that I'm just trying to segregate people by having different branches, but that's not what I'm saying. A good example of that is there's a bunch of different kinds of cancer awareness. There's breast cancer awareness, ovarian cancer awareness, testicle cancer awareness, lung cancer awareness, and they all raise money for the different cancers, but they're not saying one cancer is worse than the other. They're not fighting with each other to all work at the same goal of helping people with cancer, just like the different groups of egalitarianism are working together to address different injustices. Obviously, egalitarianism is great. Never said I had a problem with it, and I love it. And I love feminism, and I love all parts of egalitarianism that work to fight inequalities. So you also asked me if I know what a TERF is. Yes, I do. Obviously, I'm an intersectional feminist, and I obviously know what a TERF is. It stands for Transgender Exclusionary Radical Feminist. See what word is in there? Radical. And as I've said, there are radicals in all movements. Those radicals, they're called, even in the name TERF, it's literally called radical. I guess I should go back and say, and in my future videos I will just straight up say intersectional feminism, because there are other brands of feminists that are bad, like TERFs. They are not like my kind of feminism. So intersectional feminism is like the good feminism. Those are radicals. TERFs are radicals. They don't include transgender people. Obviously, they're not real feminists or intersectional feminists. They're radicals. So I don't know why you're basing the whole feminist movement off of a group of feminists who literally are identified as radicals. Do you also complain about if feminism is about equality, why are there laws protecting women and not men? As you know, the United States was founded by straight, cis, white men. So the country and the laws was created based around the needs of those straight, cis, white men. So they had no need for laws protecting them because they created the laws. There have been throughout history many things that bring women down, many discriminative things that have happened, many oppressive things that have happened. So women needed these laws, and we still do, to protect us from being oppressed and discriminated. That's why there's more laws protecting women than men. But as I said in my last video, there also have been laws that have been fought for and changed for men by feminists. Also, towards the end of your video, you bring up the draft and about how men have to sign up for the draft to get their right to vote, and women just get the right to vote without signing up for the draft. I don't really know what to tell you, except I personally don't support the draft at all for anybody. I don't think anybody should have to sign up for the draft and be forced to serve their country if they don't want to. I just don't think there should be a draft at all. But feminists aren't at fault for men having to sign up for the draft and women not have to sign up for the draft. That's the patriarchy and other men, not feminists. So I'm sorry that men have to sign up for the draft. I don't think anybody should have to sign up for the draft. You also asked me to name 5 laws that oppress women. I did say in my video that I was talking about social constructs and laws, and I already addressed a bunch of social constructs. But since you asked for 5 laws that hurt women, I'm gonna give you 9. So right now, we're on the verge of possibly losing abortion rights for women. It's our body, it's our choice. No one should be forced to host another person inside their body if they don't want to. I'm not gonna go into more detail about that. Our bodies, our choice, the end. That's a whole nother video, and we're not getting into the details for that on this video. Number 2 is that rapists barely serve any time in jail, men or women rapists. Obviously, as I said in the last video, women can rape men. They don't serve hardly any jail time either. Rapists in general hardly serve any jail time. There are more women victims than men. So this one affects men and women. It is messed up that rapists don't serve more jail time, little to none. 98% of rapists never see jail time. So number 3 is about child marriage laws. Although most states you have to be 18 to get married, there is a number of states where there are loopholes where if there's parental consent or the parents want their child to marry somebody, they can force their children into marriage. This happens to boys and girls, mostly girls though, and they're forced to marry very old men. Still happens a lot. In the United States still, there are like 12-year-old girls being married off to like 50 or older year old guys. That's gross. Number 4 is in North Carolina. Once somebody gives consent to sex, they cannot revoke it. So, for example, guy or girl, it doesn't matter, but as I said, more rape victims are women, so this is more heavily a law that hurts women, but it does hurt men and women, so you should also be like understanding of this law, and it needs to be fixed. So anyway, so let's say 2 people are getting intimate and they start having sex, and then person A starts hitting or pulling on person B's hair too hard or does something that person B doesn't like, and person B is like, whoa, you know, too much, I'm done, I don't want to have sex anymore. They already consented according to this law, so they can't revoke consent. So if person A doesn't listen to person B about wanting to stop and wanting not to have sex anymore, and they keep going and they proceed to rape person B, that's legal, and that's not rape because you can't revoke consent according to that law. Number 5 is that in Georgia, it is completely legal for people to take pictures up women's skirts without it being a violation of privacy. That is super, super messed up, very privacy violating, and not okay. In 2016, the Court of Criminal Appeals in Oklahoma ruled that it's completely legal and not considered rape for a man to put his penis in an unconscious woman's mouth and force oral sex from her if she's completely unconscious, whether she's asleep or intoxicated. It's not rape if she is unconscious and he wants to have oral sex with her in Oklahoma. You can't consent if you aren't awake. Number 8, obviously men can be shirtless, women can't be shirtless except for in 5 states. Breasts are not primary sexual organs like genitals. They are secondary sexual organs, just like an Adam's apple. We don't ask men to cover up their Adam's apples. Women should not have to wear shirts if they don't want to. And number 9, although I'm not sure if these laws are actually enforced or how often they're enforced. There's still laws and they're outdated and they need to be gone. But in multiple states there are laws that dictate what women can and cannot do with their hair. In Michigan, which is where I live, it's actually illegal for women to cut their hair unless they have their husband's permission. You also say that feminism from the very beginning has always been about supremacy, but that makes no sense because one of the key feminist movements of wanting the right to vote, how is that wanting to be superior to men? That's literally wanting a right that men already have. You also say that gay men have everything they want now, so they don't need to fight for the rights either, and feminists needs to follow suit, but that's absolutely not true. Just because gay people have the right to marry now doesn't mean they have everything they want. They're still harassed and beat and threatened because of their sexual orientation, and even still to this day, cake makers and restaurants are trying to refuse services to gay people because of their sexual orientation. So no, they don't have all their rights now. They're still oppressed and they're still threatened. Throughout your whole video, you just keep pausing my video and saying nope, 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 even though I end up explaining more after you say nope, 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 and you just, I don't know, seem to ignore everything I've said and just say I'm wrong and that's not what feminism is without anything to back up all of your claims. So if you want to respond to these videos, good for you. I'm not responding again. This was enough for me. All you were doing was disagreeing with me and putting words into my mouth that I didn't even say, so I'm not about to go through that again. It's a waste of my time. Here's your response. That's it. It seems that people who hate feminism and don't want women to be treated equally are just afraid of women treating men the way men have been treating women. As I've said, I'm an intersectional feminist. I know a lot of other intersectional feminists. I'm in a lot of groups with intersectional feminists. I follow a lot of feminist websites, feminist vloggers, lots of feminist stuff, and like if you actually like read some of the stuff from not radical people, you'll see that feminism isn't this man-hating supremacy thing. Like, we literally just want gender equality. And in my last video, as you see, men are included in these inequality issues as well, and we fight for those too. That being said, as I said a few videos ago, I'm done with these like trying to educate people videos. I want my channel to be more for people who are already fighting for feminism, already fighting to get rid of injustices in the country, in the world. I want to make videos for them. I want to make a channel for them. There's not a lot of content out there for people who want to fight for equity and equality, and so I want to make that content, and it's too draining to be fighting on the internet with people all the time, and I don't want to do that with my YouTube channel. So feel free to leave comments with criticism or whatever, questions about feminism. Maybe I'll answer them in a video sometime. Maybe I won't. No promises, since somebody called me a liar for not responding to every single comment, even though I never said I was going to do that. So if you like this 3-part video response, just give me a thumbs up, or if you at least valued my side of things, give me a thumbs up. But leave whatever comments you want. Tell me what you like about feminism. Tell me something you learned. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you're notified every single time I make a new video. And don't forget to share to your friends. My social media will be popping up here, so just follow those so you can keep up with me when I'm away from the camera. And that's it. I have a Christmas video coming out super soon, so be on the lookout for that. It's a parody, which I've been having a lot of fun making them. So if you liked my last parody, you better get ready for this one because it's gonna be great. Alright, I will see you all next time.